and welcome back to another episode where I'm back in Scotland and I'm on the Mennock Pass. I'm wild camping my tents over there. I'm currently having my breakfast and it's time for porridge. And yesterday I went downstream. I didn't find much, but we got a few specs just to show you. And if you're wondering why the camp looks like a bomb's hit it, well, that's because I'm packing up. It's time to go home after a lovely weekend. The weather's been pretty good, but the midges, they've been having a feast. So anyway, here's the video, and I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for watching.
So we start this video today at a lovely spot in a wooded area, and this river does carry gold. We're only allowed to pan on this section from the 1st of June to the last day in September due to the salmon spawning ground. And all of this information is clearly stipulated in the gold panning licence, which you can get from the nearby lead mining museum at Wanlockhead. And the whole of this area has been well and truly hammered and thoroughly worked. In the modern day, and times gone by, but I was particularly drawn to this bedrock section here, where I can see a ledge on either side of the water flow there. So before I started to sluice, I wanted to have a look under there and see if there's any gold actually visible in the bedrock cracks. It's also great to do some sniping in the warm summer sunshine, especially when the sun is on your back all day. And so having collected a bucket load of gravel, it's time to start sluicing. And today I was using my Caledonian Super Sluice, and this really is a beast of a sluice. You can process a lot of gravels and you don't really have to classify it. In fact, you can hear some of the larger pebbles and rocks going down the sluice run itself. It's actually quite a nice sound to hear. It sounds like there's something going on. And if we look at the reports of the geology in this area, there's actually a band of Port Patrick Formation sedimentary wacky bedrock formed in the Ordovician period approximately 450 million years ago. And because it's June, we've got direct sunlight overhead. And the quality of the light is absolutely fantastic. And it really does help to tell the story of what's happening down here at the river. And whilst I was sniping in this area, I found some lovely pieces of hematite. They really are heavy. In fact, they're really tactile. They're nice to hold in your hand, and you really can feel the weight in them. And if you look carefully now there, you can see the grey area under the surface of the water, where I've really cleared out any gravel that were lying there on that ledge. Looking at the sluice, you can see lots of heavy materials there in the riffles, which is then going to lead towards a clean-up. And at this stage of the day, I was satisfied that I'd found some gold. It was time for a spot of lunch at the side of the river. And there's nothing better than this, where you can gather your thoughts and think about how the day's gone. And just for the record, I'd prepared my lunch earlier on, back at the camp, and today it was sardines in tomato sauce with gherkins. Lovely. And looking at the pans, we'd found quite a lot of lead shot. It's always a good indicator. And there were some really nice bright, buttery yellow gold pieces in the pan. So I decided to head back towards where the camp was and work the waters just below where I was based. as the evening sun started to cast the long shadows along the side of the valley. And a bit like last time, I found a nice little drop-off where there's a small plunge pool amongst the bedrock. It's always worth sniping here. You just never know what's worked its way down this channel, and there could always be a small piece of gold that's been missed over many previous visits by other fellow prospectors. And just at the base of this section, rather than waft the gravels away, I decided to get the suction pump and start to suck all the gravels up. And that way I'll be guaranteed nothing will be left behind here. It's always worthwhile if you're looking for that smallest grain of gold that could always just push to one side and you'd never see it. So I was only using my gold pan, a 10mm classifier, and a small yellow snuffer bottle on this section. But nothing had really caught my eye, and that's the whole idea of sniping, is to actually see the gold underwater with your own eyes. But nevertheless, by applying these principles, and by sucking all the gravels up that were in the vicinity, I was hopeful that I might find at least a diddy speck. And in the end, I found one solitary piece of gold with a bit of body and lots of texture. And albeit, in appearance, it was a little bit phallic, but it was in the pan. But I'd achieved my goal, which was to find another piece of gold before the day ended.